All right, all right, all right. Hopefully we're recording. I'm sure we're recording, but hopefully you can hear me. Oh, double check. Make sure I'm not on mute. I'm not on mute. Excellent, excellent. Gotta love it when things work out the way you expect them to. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and we're live streaming. Very excited. Got a couple stories to fill everybody in on, and, the normal shenanigans and stuff going on. Hope everybody's having or had a wonderful week and is going to have a wonderful weekend. Hey, Dillard, how's it going, man? He says, hi there, Misfit. Hi there, Dillard. You're welcome to join if you like. We're going to be up to our normal debauchery. But I'm really excited because we got some new toys in that I plan to set up at the store. I have 2 new webcams. I had set up the overhead webcam that I have that records my desk in the store so that it was filming. Well, it wasn't filming. It was showing the middle of the store. Well, I got 2 extras to put around the store so I can actually watch different parts of the store while I'm working on my computer. Only problem is my OBS crashed, and I think I have to reload OBS, but we'll get around that. So Dillard says, I can't join tonight. I'm watching the kid. That's all right. That's all right. Or you could be like Todd and have your kid screaming in the background while everybody's trying to have a normal conversation. No, don't be like Todd. Don't do that. All right. So, told you about the webcams. I got extension cords, and I'm going to set them up in the store. I have some... I originally thought about making them secret, try to hide them so nobody sees them, but I think they'll be out where people can see them. That way they know, somebody's watching. Now, whether or not it's recording or not, that's a whole nother story. But I kind of set the store up so that there's actually 3 sections to the store. There's the far left, which has all the comics, the middle section, and then there's the far right section. And my desk is facing the far right. So if somebody's over here looking at toys and so forth, I can see them easily. But if they're over at the other 2 sections, I have a security mirror so I can see what's going on. But I kind of gotta, take my attention away from the one area that I can see. So I'm going to set these cameras up so that from one spot, one control center, one command center, I'll be able to watch all parts of the store. And I'm very excited about that. It's one of those little power trips people get, when they have control over the world. Actually, you know what? I can switch the cameras. I can show you. These cameras they're actually pretty decent cameras. They were ta-da! It's one of them. And that's the other one. But I'm going to set them up in the store, and I'm getting excited about it. So, yes, I know, fellas, it's the little things in life that thrill me. Yeah. Somebody one time said, enjoy the little things because the big things may never happen. That's very, very true. Getting new webcams is very exciting. And the funny part is that I went to Walmart, a couple of Walmarts. I went to Target. I went to Best Buy. Nobody had webcams. Turns out they're a very popular item right now because all the kids going back to school and working from home. Some of them require webcams, so But I went on Amazon, $20 a piece. Had it delivered next day. Super easy. Love it, love it. Plus we have an Amazon distribution center here in Jacksonville. So that makes shipping the next day super easy. Oh, hey, Richard, how's it going? Richard's here, and so's Fearful Mook. How's it going, guys? All right, I guess we'll start with getting set up for drawing. So let me switch the cameras to the overhead camera. Got to remember which one that is. That would be this one. All right. Let me pull it down a little bit. As you can see, my desk is a jumbled mess right now. But that's just the way it goes. It's actually funny. This week I was going through some old art, and I found this one sketch that I'd done a while ago. This is actually from 2018. This was Hero in kind of like a samurai outfit, which was kind of inspired by Hero Book 3, which takes place in their version of China or Japan or whatnot. And I really like this one. I don't know what I originally was going to do with this. I think this was going to be one of the 9x12s that was part of the Indiegogo campaign where you could get an original 9x12, but I really like this one. And kind of inspiring, and it kind of reminds me I got to get back on track with Hero Book 3, which is happening. I did get a chance to sit down and do some stuff this week, but let me grab something to sketch on, and we will get started. Probably just do a warm-up sketch at first, and I don't know, maybe draw Hero. You know, everybody loves Hero. At least I do. Oh, thank you, Richard. It's one of my favorites. And Dillard says, that looks nice. Why, thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. Oh, I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I tell you what, this week for me was exhausting. I had a lot of work stuff to do and getting ready for the weekend. And this is probably the one time this season, football season, I was able to watch a game from home because the Jags played on Thursday night. And I don't know if any of you guys watched that game, but they lost pretty miserably. So let's not talk about it. It was that bad. I don't know if you guys out there, if any of you guys are football fans or not, but it's sad when your team starts off the season really good and they crash and burn by game 3, which pretty much is what happened. We'll see what happens the rest of the season, but Dillard says, I think you should warm up by drawing a reptile with many limbs and joints. A reptile with many, what are you referring to? I don't know what he's referring to. Knowing Dillard, he's always got something up his sleeve. Actually, where would his tail be? His tail would go this way. But let's see. Do we have a pen I can use? I'm sure I got a pen around here somewhere. Here we go. I stopped watching pro sports because of the nonsense. He was a huge Washington Foreskins fan. Oh, yeah? Oh, I got to tell you guys a story about something I saw that immediately turned me off. It was really sad. I was going to wait till somebody comes in because they might have heard about it as well. But yeah, nonsense. Definitely one of the quickest things to turn you off nowadays. Just seems like everybody's getting involved in some of this crazy nonsense. I got to check with Todd, see if the Harvey Awards got the winners were announced, because we did our Harvey Award picks last week. See, Hero really is an easy character to draw. Who do we got here? Burnt Turkey. What's up, man?
Hi.
What?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? Is it just us tonight?
Huh? Well, so far, yeah.
Hold on, how are things? How was your week, man?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to the weekend. I was showing everybody that I got 2 new webcams that I'll be setting up at the store.
One is in your shower. Is going to be one in the shower and
Yes, exactly. In the store, yes. So how's it going?
Oh, it's going good. It's been a kind of a long day. The kid, Julia, was sick on Thursday.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she stayed home today. She was better, but like she was out of her mind today.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I hate to tell you this, but that may just be she's a girl.
Well, that's true. She is.
They're always out of their minds.
Yeah.
So, do we know if the winners for the Harvey Awards were announced?
I don't know. We actually wanted to look at that.
Yeah, we definitely need to check. So while I'm finishing up this drawing, check and see if we got some winners out there.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking for something on. Just 1 second.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. You know what's so funny is that the way I actually color Hero is really based on Avery's initial take on how his coloring should look. So he inspired a lot of the way I imagine Hero looks.
Is this something you're gonna tell him?
I'll admit that to him. Absolutely. Well, he was the one that did the first color version of the character. And I kind of base in my mind what he looks like based on his original,
Hold on. Julia, get bed, please. What's up?
I'm going to mute you for a second. All right, there we go. Just in case he's got to yell at the kid. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Richard says, Avery, what's up? Oops, that's Todd. He says, sorry for insulting you, Todd. That was a heavy insult. Gillard says, Richard is new to the channel. Don't mind him. Yeah, that's right. You guys are so funny. All right, so there's my quick sketch, my quick warm-up sketch. But I've got plans. I'm hopefully, one of the things I've always said is that once the store is set up, and I'll start doing more work while I'm in the store. But it seems like setting up and doing stuff in the store never, ever, ever stops. But I feel it's getting there. It's almost there. We have all the new bookshelves have been put in. We've got new product going in. Once all that stuff is there, all the comics are in my digital inventory, which was a huge task, but that's done. So now the only thing that has to go into the inventory is anything that comes in new. And so I even got the 50 centers are in my inventory. The only comics that are in the store that aren't in my inventory are the 10-cent comics, pretty much the throwaway comics, the ones I don't really care about. But anything that's on the wall, anything that's in the boxes, anything that's new, all of it's already in the inventory. So that's kind of exciting.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Well, what's really funny is I told Jen that I had all these comics sitting over here on the bookshelves and in these boxes, that there's 3 steps. I make a video of them, I bag and board them, and I put them in the inventory. Well, I'm out of bags and boards. So I've got to order some more. I'm probably going to do a bulk order coming up soon. And I said, well, might as well take the ones that have barcodes already on them, that I don't need to worry about making a barcode for, get them in the inventory and get them ready to go. So I started scanning in everything that I had a barcode on it. Guess how many comics I have sitting over here that need bags and boards that are now in my inventory that I still need to make videos of, but are ready to go to that next step?
500.
More. Higher.
Wow. 1,000?
More.
Jesus. How many?
Just a little over 1,200 comics.
Oh my God.
And that's not including the ones that don't have barcodes. The ones that don't have barcodes, I have 2 boxes full. So it's probably another 400 comics.
Oh my God.
So I'm looking at about 1,600 comics that are sitting here that I have to make videos of. I have to get bags and boards and get them in the store.
Poor baby.
Of them, 1,200 of them are already in the inventory. So that's one of the 3 steps. So it's a lot of work, but you know me, I love doing this stuff. So we're going to switch cameras real quick. So I got to tell you a story.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I got to get ready. It's story time with Drew. Wait a minute. Let's see what Dillard's saying here. The store, they never get set up. Never. That says Richard. That is true. There's always something new. Dillard says, tell me a story of Hero. I want to hear a story. Don't tell me a story. No, tell me a story now. Do it. Okay. All right. So here's the story. So we have a local Walmart. Actually, we have 2 Walmarts. Depending on whether I'm going on Atlantic Boulevard or Beach Boulevard, there's 2 Walmarts very close to us, less than 5 miles, right? Uh-huh. There's one I go to pretty much every morning, just simply because whenever we need ice or we need cat food or milk or something, I go to Walmart in the morning. And the particular Walmart I goes to has 2 sections of self-checkout. I always go to self-checkout. I don't want to have to talk to anybody. I just want to go do my thing and get the heck out of there, right? So the one section of self-checkout that's near the entrance that I came in, I get up there, I have 3 things. There's nobody there. Nobody's there except there's one guy at one register. And when I walk up, I know nowadays to look to see if the registers are set for cards only. And for me, it's not a big deal. I have cards, not a big deal. But sometimes I want to get cash back. Well, this morning I wanted to get cash back because I need to make change for the weekend. So I need to find a machine that takes cash. And I looked, and every single one was set for card only, except for the one that the guy was at. And I realized that's why he's at that machine, is because it's the only one that takes cash. And I turned to the guy and just confirmed that. And he said, yeah, just that one. So I went and I kind of waited 8 feet away from the guy. So I was waiting patiently for him to finish. Well, another guy walks up, an older guy, probably mid-40s, mid-50s, and asks the guy, which one's the cash machine? He says, that one right there, the one that I'm waiting for, right? So no big deal. So he's patient. He waits. So the guy who's using it finishes. I walk up. I scan in my 3 items, and I pull out my debit card. And the other guy that's waiting looks at me and says, what? You're using a credit card? And I'm like, first of all, I think I have enough intelligence to know that any one of the other machines will take a card. And had I just intended to use a card, I could have easily gone to any one of the other machines. But obviously, I'm holding him up because he has cash. And I turned to him and I said, dude, I'm getting cash back because this is the only register you can get cash back at. And I'm like, what an asshole. You know, I mean, just keep your mouth shut and let me finish what I'm doing and let me go and get out of the way. You know, and I was thinking to myself afterwards, it's like, man, I should have put in the wrong PIN number or just screwed it up. So, oh, damn it, I got to do it all over again. Just really pissed him off.
You get all the fun people.
Well, it's like it's one of those things where it's in your mind. Keep it in your mind. Don't open your mouth and say it and tell people how stupid you are. It's like, yeah, of course I'm using a card because I want cash back. This is the only machine that does that. Dumbass. Oh, well. But welcome to Florida. People are rude everywhere.
It's true.
Actually, if we were in New York and we were at a Walmart there, somebody probably pull out a gun and say, God dang it, you're using a card in a cash machine. You know?
No.
Walmart, they wouldn't have done that?
Walmarts, no, because Walmarts are not allowed in New York.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
They're not even allowed to exist.
Oh, I was going to show you. I had a couple of new comics. There was one particular one I was going to show you. Damn it. I wonder if I put it aside. It's one of these ones that I found, and I'll go, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Let me share it with Todd and Avery. And then, of course, I didn't put it aside. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, there was something special about it, and I put it aside. And now I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here's one that you might like. Here, let me do an overhead cam so you can see. You remember how
your face looks like it might? Is your face getting better?
No, it's not getting any better.
Have you talked to the doctor?
Yes, I talked to him today.
What did he say?
Well, he's concerned that he's concerned that some parts of the palsy might be permanent. So, if that happens, it happens. But I told him it's not getting any worse, but there's actually nothing else we can do about it. So, check this out.
Well, wait a minute. First of all, before we get that, because I'm going to talk about this cover because these are my favorite all-time covers. But are you still going to be taking antibiotics for it, or like another round?
No. I asked him about that specifically, whether or not that we could do that, and he's like, "No, you did all the antibiotics at the beginning at the onset, and that's the treatment. Once you've done that, you don't need more antibiotics." So
crazy. So you just have to wait it out, basically.
Pretty much. Well, one of his things was that he mentioned is that, I told him, I said, last time I had the palsy, it took 10, 15 days, and it was over. And he said, well, sometimes it can last a lot longer. So.
Okay. So maybe.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the X-Men Classic, the Mike Mignola X-Men Classic covers are my all-time favorite Mike Mignola work.
Dude, check out this cover. This is with Dracula and Storm.
Yeah.
Let me see if it shows you which issue it's from. The original one.
I don't think I ever opened the books.
Oh, really? Usually they show you the cover of the original comic in here, and it's not in here. That stinks. But
yeah, those Mike Mignola covers are my all-time. Like, I kind of want the set. I want the series. I don't have any of them right now. So if you want to put those aside for me, I'll totally.
Well, I found several of them. I've got the one with Binary and a couple others.
Yeah, I'm saying if you want to put those aside for me, I'll take them all.
To be honest with you, these are never going to sell. They'll sit in the store forever, but they look awesome.
Dude, bring them. Like, put them aside. I will prepay for them.
Okay, yeah.
That is a sale.
Here's the comic that I found. That this was. You remember Marvel Comics Presents, right?
Uh-huh.
This was issue 175. Now, I did not stick around for Marvel Comics Presents this far into the run, but I saw the title. It says New Genix. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a weird title, but it's got a Steve Lytle cover. Here's the part that's really cool. The flip cover is also by Steve Lytle. This is the character for New Genix. She looks fantastic. And in flipping through this issue, the New Genix storyline is written by Steve Lytle and illustrated by Steve Lytle. So I'm betting she's a Steve Lytle character, but she's awesome looking. I've never seen her before, but she's very much a 90s character. And I swear there's one panel right here where I thought I was looking at a Beecham.
That's all Beecham, yeah.
Yeah, but it's Steve Lytle, which makes me beg the question: who influenced who here?
Well, no. That's totally. I think Steve Lytle. They probably were in the same studio or something. Because that's 100%. I mean, that is like I don't want to say a trace. I want to say it's the same. He probably asked Beecham to draw the woman, just like Tex did, right? Because if you look,
I don't know. Steve Lytle's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know, but so is Tex. But that picture, like specifically, like the thing with the breasts are a different color.
Yes.
That is a trademark Beecham.
The shading on the way they're done,
Yeah, well, no, I can tell you, like, specifically, like, that right there, and then there's another page after that where she's standing. That one right there, that is a Beecham.
That's why these screamed to me, like, they stood out to me, because that's what I thought they were originally when I saw that it was Steve Lytle that was doing not only the cover and the story, but he did the interior. Kind of took me by surprise,
I don't know, because I don't know if Beecham or if Lytle, if you could find another Lytle drawing of women like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look. Well, he did a lot of covers for like Legion of Superheroes and so forth. So I mean, he's been around for a while. So I just never knew him to be. I never associated him with Mark Beecham or Texier or anything like that. So weird. Actually, I have a stack of comics here. There was one that actually, these are more comics I have to go in the inventory, but there was one in here. This is one I'd never heard of. Star Hunters.
Oh, I never heard of it.
No. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
When I did the price guide search. Oh, here's one. Here's one I thought was kind of cool. Do you remember issue number 15 of Ghost Rider, the glow in the dark cover? Did you know they did a second printing of it where the background was gold?
I did, yes.
Oh, okay. I never saw the second printing. I just thought that was kind of cool. And what else in here did I want to point out? So these are all ones that'll be made into a video later, but where is that other one? I know there was one. Oh, yeah. Do you remember Power Lords?
Oh, yeah.
Can you guess without looking at the cover who the artist is? Now, I will give you a hint. Back in this era, he pretty much did all of the comics for the toys, Sectors and everything.
Oh, God.
We already mentioned him a couple times during this conversation.
I mean, it looks like a Blevins, but it's not. I don't know.
Nope. Texiera.
Oh, no shit.
No shit at all.
Oh, wow.
That's a great panel. Great page right there. But yeah, he was doing a lot of the he was mainly doing them for Marvel. He did a whole bunch of the like Sectors and Power this and Power that. Anything that was based on a toy property, he was usually the artist for it. But this one's DC, which is actually kind of interesting. But it's definitely based on a toy line, Power Lords.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-issue series. I think I have the first. I have this. That's issue 1, and I think I have issue 3 in here somewhere. But I saw it, and it just stood out as like something cool, you know, something nice to share. But oh well. So those 3 books were actually kind of interesting.
That's great.
Star Hunters. Yeah, I don't know anything about this book, but what's funny is I did a comic price guide search on it. Near mint condition, it's like a $16 book. It's the first appearance of the Star Hunters. I've never even heard of these guys, but David Michelin, writer and creator, Don Newton and Bob Layton, artists.
Really?
From 1977. The Star Hunters. Some really nice art. Oh wow, look at that page.
That's really cool.
Using some of those really cool effects.
I was listening to Rob Liefeld's podcast, and he was mentioning he said some things. I'm like, you know what? I never really thought about that. Like the whole, like you were talking about the Ghost Rider with the color covers, like that whole craze with the lenticular stuff and holographic covers and all that kind of crazy stuff. Like and I totally forgot this, but do you remember what the very first, what started the whole thing? Do you remember what it was? When I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Was it the die cut covers?
Nope, before die cut covers.
Had to be the Prism covers. Because Prism was one of the very first things they were doing in the cards, remember?
Yeah, but no, do you know there was something that came out that took the executives by surprise. Like they just didn't expect it. And then when they found out about it, they went crazy.
Was it the hologram covers? Where they were like the hologram stickers? Because I'm thinking back to like Robin. One of the Robin limited series had the little hologram stickers on them.
Uh-huh. You're getting warmer.
Was it before that?
Yeah. I would have never, until he said it, I was like, that makes total sense. It was something that I completely forgot about until he mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Because what's so funny is going back through the gimmicky cover phase, a lot of it had to do with the technology that they were using in the trading cards. Because the chromium cards and the 3D hologram cards, those were later on. The very first ones they did were the Prism cards. That was the big thing.
Right.
So a Prism cover. Man, let me think. I can almost guarantee you it's something I either have or have had.
I promise you have either had it or you have it now.
All right, I don't know. Tell me. What is it?
It was the Shadow of the Bat. Do you remember when they first launched issue 1, they had a little they released them with a little multicolored cardboard wraparound. One was orange that had a little bat symbol on it. One was blue or something. It had a little bat symbol on it. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Yes.
And people went ape shit collecting it as like which one's more valuable, the blue or the orange. And it totally took them by surprise because they didn't mean it to be a collectible. They just were like, oh well, let's just
And if I remember correctly, none of them were more limited than the others. They were all pretty just.
That's out. Right. That's right. They just did it as they didn't even do it as a gimmick. They just did it as something cool, and they didn't really think about it as
I know I've had copies of it where I showed it off, and in the video made fun of the fact that this is what the idea of an alternate cover or a variant edition was one was yellow, one was red, one was blue, one was green.
That started the whole craze. And basically what Marvel found out was that every time somebody would go in to a comic shop and buy one or two of those books, they would walk out with like 5 Marvel comics.
Right.
And so Marvel started to do that's what started the whole craze. Isn't that crazy? I was like, oh, it makes like sequentially it makes perfect sense. But like also some interesting things that's like an artistic thing that I learned. So the 90s cross-hatching style, right? The 90s definitive facial detail, the detail style, the line work. Which artist started that craze? Who is actually responsible for it? And I will tell you that it is one of the Image guys. Who does Rob give credit to?
Why am I thinking it's Jim Valentino?
That's a good guess, but that would be incorrect.
Okay. Who?
It was Whilce Portacio.
Really? Now that I can see.
Because
I can definitely see.
Because Whilce and Jim, so Whilce was already in the business when Jim Lee just like was breaking in. And
right. Whilce Portacio had been an inker for a long time before Jim Lee even came around. Yeah.
Jim and Whilce were friends. Jim knew Whilce really well. And so Jim was working in Whilce's studio. They shared a studio together.
Yeah.
And so Jim was looking at Whilce when he was started to do X-Men stuff and was looking at that cross-hatching. And what Rob says, and this is totally true, like I can totally see this, is that what Jim's superpower is he's a
mimic.
He's a mimic. And I'm the same way. I get that because I'm the exact same way. Like I have the ability to like say, oh well, I like this guy's body shape and this guy's shadow, and I can make a style out of that, right? But at the time, Jim Lee was really doing John Byrne. Jim Lee was mimicking John Byrne in Alpha Flight.
Right.
When he got the Punisher, that's when he started adding in Art Adams. So both Jim Lee and McFarlane are both John Byrne and Art Adams. Like that's what they were doing in their own way, right?
Right.
And then as Jim started adding the Art Adamness to his work, he was looking at Whilce as like the unique way to add detail. And there you go. You've got a Jim Lee style. Right? You can kind of see it, right? Like if you look at John Byrne and Whilce Portacio, that's pretty much Jim Lee.
Yeah, Jim Lee's first work in comics was Alpha Flight number 51. What year was that? I got to double check. Let's see. It's in the 1990s. But you know what's so funny is you just mentioned, Whilce Portacio having been in comics longer than Jim Lee. I actually have a copy of Long Shot #1 by Art Adams, and it was inked by Anderson and Portacio.
Oh, wow.
And it's from 1985. So
I had no idea. I had no idea Portacio had been in that long.
Yeah. I remember seeing his name, but not knowing who he was really. And this was before he was an inker. How many artists do we know now that started as inkers and became something more? I mean, Mike Mignola was an inker. What's his name? I think Kevin Nolan was an inker as well. That was the other
influence for Jim Lee's style was like Before he pulled in some of the Art Adams stuff, it was Kevin Nolan.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of can't see that, but then again, I can because
if you look at don't look at the ink line shading. Think of the body, like where the shadows fall on the characters. Right?
Matter of fact, looking at this first cover, this Jim Lee cover of Alpha Flight number 51. Here, let me show it with you. When you look at, it's got Sasquatch on the cover, and when you look at it, you can definitely see. I mean, if I told you this cover was inked by Kevin Nolan, you might actually believe it.
Right, but you see how it's like that's very John Byrne, right? It's very, very John Byrne. Like he was kind of spreading out. Yeah, that looks like John Byrne and Kevin Nolan, right? And then he added the Art Adams ping a little later. Apparently, Art Adams was like the man to beat in terms of style.
Well, he was.
Yeah, he still is. Yeah, that totally looks like.
Look at the face. The face definitely, that looks like he ripped it right off of Kevin Nolan.
Yeah, once you say it, right?
Wait a minute. Did Kevin Nolan ink this?
Did he really? It looks like a Kevin Nolan ink.
Wait a minute.
It
yeah.
did.
Oh man, that is sad.
That's awesome. Well, there's your Jim Lee, Kevin Nolan.
We're gonna lose our bona fides here. We don't know what we're talking about.
No, dude. What are you talking about? I think it makes it more perfect. Like we were talking about how he was basically John Byrne and Kevin Nolan, and there you go, have a Kevin Nolan inking Jim Lee on his first cover.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh well. Were you buying Alpha Flight back then, by the way?
No, I didn't buy Alpha. I didn't discover Jim Lee until X-Men. Well, no, I discovered Jim Lee kind of in the middle of his Punisher War Journal run. And I was like, this is incredible. And then I followed him over to X-Men. But I never got all of the Punisher War Journals because it was kind of like hard to find and it was kind of here and there.
Right.
Now I have all the Alpha Flight. I don't know if I have all of the Punisher War Journals.
You know, those early issues of Alpha Flight by John Byrne were fantastic. You know?
Yeah.
I remember those. I had a friend of mine. Actually, we had a family friend who had a son and a daughter. And the son was younger than me, and the daughter was a few years older than me. But she collected comics, and the one, or I shouldn't say she collected comics. She had comics. She really didn't collect them. But the one she had the most of was New Mutants and Alpha Flight. And she had Teen Titans too. But she had a big collection of New Mutants, and that was when I was first exposed to like Crazy Uncle Bill. Was she had the Demon Bear saga. And I had never seen those comics before. And I was looking through them going, wow, these are fantastic. I knew nothing of them. And many years later, as a birthday present for her, I put together a whole set of some of those early New Mutants, not realizing how some of them are actually gone up in value. Like issue number 14 is like the first appearance of Magic. That's like a $30 book in some places. But I gave her a whole collection of early New Mutants that she had when she was a kid and shared with me. I gave her a whole bunch of them, and she was like, "Oh, this is fantastic!" Just because I'm just a great guy, you know. But oh well, they were probably all found in 50-cent bins and stuff like that. So they're probably not worth that much to begin with. But it was. She introduced me to them because she had them back in the day, and I found some and gave them to her, and it was just kind of cool to reminisce about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Comics, man, they bring everybody together.
Or separate you into factions.
I can't believe you're going there. All right, did you find out whether or not the Harvey Awards were announced?
No, let me look. Hold on.
No, because I have the list here.
I know.
This is important. This is bragging rights. And, you know, we live off of everything, just bragging rights.
I know.
There's another story I was going to tell you, and I'm blanking on it already. I can't remember what it was, but eventually I'll remember it. Oh, I did have my follow-up with my doctor today, and we did the telehealth thing where we communicated through the video chat on the phone.
Mhm.
And when he was asking about the palsy and all and so forth, and we were talking about it, I told him, I said, I had a customer in the store say to me, he says, you do realize that if your face is still screwed up by Halloween, you've got to dress up as Two-Face for Halloween. And the doc thought that was hilarious.
Oh, Jesus.
He says, oh, well, something fun to look forward to. I said, yeah, I guess so. But,
That's so funny.
I've got to figure out how to do it because I gotta split a costume down the middle and have one side one color and one side another color. What I thought about for my face would be really easy is just shave half of my face. It's the easiest way to do it. But
so it says voting will conclude on September 21st, but it has not been released yet.
Oh, all right. So
or let me see Harvey Ward's page. No,
not
yet.
No results. Okay.
I wish they don't tell you when it's actually gonna come out.
It's really funny. There was only 6 categories.
Yeah, it's super quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to, they have to find the right people to give it to. So.
Trying to see if there's anything over here in my stack of stuff to get graded that is worth showing that I haven't already shown. Oh, I showed you this one detective. I think you've seen it before. It in the guide, it's like $175 near mint, and I was looking into it trying to figure out why the issue is worth so much, and it literally is just the cover. It's a Jock cover, it's a Joker cover, but it's one of these ones that you see all over the place nowadays because it's so popular. Yeah, I'll show you which one I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I have a this cover here, issue 880.
Oh, yeah, the Jock cover.
Yeah, I actually have a comic book box in the store that has this as the design on the cover. But supposedly it's super valuable just simply because it's an iconic cover.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
You got to get it graded or something?
Yeah, it's in my stack to be graded.
What else do you have? Let's see. Show us your stack.
Yeah, I'll show you a couple.
Here, hold on. While you're doing that, I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Okay.
2 seconds.
Sorry, guys. We don't mean to slow down the whole flow of the entire thing just for him, but it happens from time to time. Let's see. What else do I got in here? I got a bunch of comics here that are worth something, but may not necessarily be graded. These are all good ones. I'll share those. Share those. Well, those would make him jealous. And those here.
Okay.
All right. So these are put aside to be graded. Whether or not they actually do get graded, I don't know just yet, but we'll see.
Now you're going to have to educate me a little bit. Like, I don't know anything about the Scott Snyder Jock run.
Well, this right here is Scott Snyder's first Batman work. So it may actually be worth something, whether or not it is or not.
You haven't checked?
Yeah, I have, but I don't remember how much it's worth. I mean, it might be like a $20 book or $30 book, but these are mostly in really, really good condition. That's why I'm even considering getting them graded. But in a high grade, it could be worth $100, $150. That type of thing. But I mean, I didn't think this was any great piece of masterwork, but being that it's Scott Snyder's first Batman work, it's worth something. We had the first appearance of the Umbrella Academy in the free comic book day edition. I don't know if you've ever saw that, but of course, then there's the Detective Comics 880. But issue 1, and I think, what else do I have in here? I have issue 1 and 2. We'll get to them eventually. But of the Umbrella Academy. So these all went up huge in value just simply because the show was actually really decent. So if you haven't seen it, it's actually pretty good. This is X-23 issue number 1 from her first limited series. I think it was only, I have issues 2 and 3. They're not worth really much of anything, but the first one's actually worth a little bit of pretty penny, but it's a nice cover. This is the Uncanny X-Force issue 1 J. Scott Campbell variant. So supposedly it's one of those limited ones.
That's a cool cover.
But this is Jerome Lepera on art, so it's good.
Makes me wish that Scott Campbell had an X-Men run.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Got some early issues of Saga. This is issue number 4, issue 5, issue 7. See, these are all valuable comics. They're worth a pretty penny, but whether or not they're worth grading or not, I don't know just yet. But I put them aside just in case they are. But these are all first prints, so that's always good. Long Shot number 1. This is actually a pretty decent copy. It's not worth nearly as much as it used to be. Back when we were collecting comics, Long Shot number 1 was like impossible to find. But now it's not as impossible. The Old Guard issue number 1. This was some type of retailer variant of some type. It's got a wraparound cover and so forth. If you've seen the show, it's actually, at least compared to this first comic, it's pretty faithful to the comic.
Cool.
Here's another Saga issue number 2, which is a pretty decent issue. Spider-Man 2099 number 1, which is like growing in popularity right now, but this one just happens to be signed by Rick Leonardi.
So cool.
Yeah, it is.
Look how good that cover is. That guy.
And this has got the foil stamp around the outside, which was kind of one of the cover gimmicks back in the day.
You should crack that open and show some pages from that.
I might as well. This isn't an uncommon book, I mean, they're out there, but I don't think this has any certificate of authenticity on the signature. It's just my buddy got it signed by him when he went and saw him at a show.
It's clearly Rick Leonardi.
Oh yeah. So here's the fantastic double page spread.
Oh, dude, I would love to own that.
I
don't know why that page, that double page spread means so much to me. It really just like sums up our time,
Well, this was.
I cannot believe that he never got to that like image level.
Well, this is September 1992, so this is around the time me graduating from high school, right before I started working at the comic book store. So this was an interesting time in our lives, or definitely in my life.
So good. So good. Such a good book.
All right. I also have, like, very similar to Saga, I've got some early issues of Fables that are in really great condition, so I'm thinking about getting them graded. This is issue number 3 of Fables. Issue number 6, 7 with the fantastic James Jean covers. 9 and 10. I also have issue number 8 in the store, and the prices that I have on these are actually pretty decent compared to what they're valued at, but graded and they're in really great condition are worth a lot more than that. So I got a copy of Punisher number 1, the original limited series, the Mike Zeck. Fantastic cover and interior art by Mike Zeck. This is the one that he put the most effort into. The other issues in this series, you could tell he kind of I don't want to say slouched on it, but issue 1 is definitely the prettiest of all of them. But worth getting graded.
I remember when that was impossible to find.
This is Amazing Spider-Man number 344. You have any idea why this could be valuable? Besides, it's one of the first appearance of Cardiac, and
It's an early Larson.
it's Eric Larson. Yeah,
I don't know. Is there there's another villain, but I can't remember who.
this is actually the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, who
Oh,
goes on to be Carnage.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so one of those out of the blue type of comics. But New Mutants number 14, first appearance of Ileana Magic.
Uh-huh.
Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man number 64. Any idea why this might be valuable?
First appearance, Cloak and Dagger, maybe.
You got it. Yeah. This one's one of those out of the blue type ones, but this is Avengers number 181. You would never guess whose first appearance is in here.
No idea.
Scott Lang,
Oh,
who later becomes Ant-Man, the Ant-Man in the movies. So that's why it's actually kind of up there in value. This is actually a really great edition, really great copy.
that's great.
So, yeah, these are my stack to potentially be graded. I got to get around to it. I have a customer that comes in the store all the time, and he sends stuff off like every few months, and I don't know. He told me that he's got so many that are out there right now that he's not sure when stuff's supposed to come back because he's got so much stuff floating out there.
Golly.
But yeah. But it's definitely something I got to do because, you know, some of these books that are actually worth a really pretty penny sell much better when people know the actual condition. You know, I could tell you that this Avengers 181 is like an 8.5 or an 8 point, you know, something, because it's an old copy, an old comic. It's 40 plus years old, but it's got a really great looking cover and so forth. But I'm not an aficionado. I'm not somebody who I wouldn't say I have any level of grading experience, you know?
Yeah. Well, it also makes your store look legit. And well, the other thing is too, is I'm telling you, like, I'm watching these, I watch the Heritage auctions, and 90% of it is usually graded comics, and they always sell 100%. Like, I would say, well, I can't say 100%. 95% of them sell, maybe 98%, and they always sell for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Well, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen. And it's not. I have a customer that comes in. He's always telling me about having graded comics in, and he's like, if you really want to be a legitimate comic book store and make money, you need. And I'm like,
see, I disagree. I mean, you slab the ones, you slab some of them, and you keep the ones you want to keep for sure. But
yeah,
I would be, especially since you're like a really good, like, digging through crates kind of guy. Like you find all those gems like in 50-cent bins.
Oh yeah.
You could take that. I mean, what does it slabbing cost? Like $40?
Yeah. Well, once you have it all shipped and all that, and insurance and all that, it's about $30 a piece.
$30. So let's just say $30. So, I mean, you only paying 50 cents. So you're really talking about total $30.
Right.
Of investment. I would, if I was you, I mean, I'm just telling you as a friend, as if someone, if you wanted to really start to like crank out some cash, dude, like you drop $30 to get those books graded. And then you just flip them on Heritage. And I'm telling you, like, you're going to triple your money. You're going to it's going to be 3 or 4x. I mean, you're going to get, I've never seen a book sell for $30 on Heritage ever.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, it wouldn't take anything but to, like, obviously keep some for the store, keep some for yourself or whatever. But if you have a stack of them, I mean, and you have enough in the store.
Oh, and this is just one stack. I have another stack of stuff, some early Teen Titans that are actually valuable, and some other stuff that,
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll help you if you want. I don't mind. Like, no, I don't. I'm serious. I don't mind.
Well, when it comes to all those other things like eBay and Heritage, that's almost literally another job. There's so much involved in that, and I just haven't gotten there yet. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
eBay is different because eBay is a crapshoot. Heritage is a little bit more of a guarantee, at least from what I've seen. Granted, you can't. It's not just like any comic book, right?
It looks like I've already sold one. Hold on a second. Dillard says he says, once you get that Scott Lang graded, I'll take it off your hands for $8. Okay. Cool.
$8. Oh.
I'm just going to go to the price guide really quick just to see what the value of it is. A 9.4 is $90. So yeah, $8. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, I think when I'm going to go through these books, if the value is more than the cost of grading, it's worth getting it graded.
Yes.
If it's a $10 book, maybe not so much, but if it's a $30, $40, $50 book, maybe it's worth getting graded. So, but the first appearances usually are money when it comes to getting them graded, because people like first appearances. So supposedly, it's a really hot book right now that I can remember having but not caring about it enough to have kept it, is Batman Beyond, the animated series comic, when that first had him in comic form. Supposedly that's $400 or $500 book right now.
Wait, say that again. Which one is this?
Batman. Remember when Batman Beyond, the cartoon, started?
Mm-hmm.
And they, of course, made a comic of it. The first comic book appearance of Batman Beyond in the animated series is like super, super hot right now.
Oh, man, I used to have that too.
I know, I did too. Because I love those Bruce Timm inspired animated series books, those were all great. And supposedly it's like in some circles, and depending on the grade, and there's been like multiple variants because they reprinted it over the years. But if you get the original, which has the barcode on it, the original one's like $400 or $500 in really good condition. So crazy. But well. All right, well, it doesn't look like we're going to get anybody else. We don't have the results of the Harvey Awards. I don't have any more stories I want to tell you. Do you have any stories you want to share? Anything good? How's your graphic novel coming along?
Oh, well, that's actually, I have a question for you about that, actually.
Oh, okay.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
I have penciled in a release date for the first issue of it.
Okay.
To be released next March.
Okay.
Okay. So that gives me, and I'll start working on it in December. November is a huge month for me. I've got like 2 or 3 major launches, like different products being launched. So November is out, and right now I'm just slammed getting ready for it and doing all the ads and getting everything set up for the launch. Mm-hmm. So November's launch season. December is
family
delivery and family, because Christmas. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to start working on the book in December.
Okay.
Doing some tests, kind of figuring out styles, all kinds of, it's going to take me time to kind of rev up a little bit. And then January and February, I would really, and maybe March, but hopefully I can get that first book out. I'd really like to get a couple books in the can to be ahead of schedule. Okay.
Right.
So here's the deal.
Tell me.
So I really want this book to be monthly. Okay. But I don't want to kill myself. All right. So I have a couple, so there's a couple of challenges, and I want to pick your brain about these challenges.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing is I would like to have it monthly. I don't know if that's physically possible. The ways that I can get around it are simplifying the style, right?
Okay.
Or going bi-monthly and just saying screw monthly. I think black and white, or maybe like really old school color. My plan is to get this printed on like old school, like newsprint, like Jim Lee X-Men era, right? Okay. Like X-Men 275 is like a perfect issue in terms of like paper quality. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe color, but if it was color, it's gonna be really simple color. A couple of days coloring, not like, weeks. Or, and this goes into what the topic is, I could cut the page count from 22 pages or 20 pages to 16 pages. And you're like, wait, 16 pages is weird because even modern comics, even though they're cut from 22 to they're still 20 pages. Well, here's the thing. Here's how I'm presenting this, and this is where it gets into like I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So what I'm going to present is I'm actually going to push this through the marketing lens. Okay, and what I mean by that is in business, across multiple businesses, there are these things called monthly newsletters.
Okay.
And monthly newsletters are done on subscription.
Okay.
And the reason they are popular is that they actually provide something of value, right? A lot of it is like how to, a lot of it is kind of technical, right? A lot of it, some of it's behind the scenes from the desk of kind of stuff,
Okay.
right? It's kind of like private knowledge and that you're willing to pay for. Okay.
Okay. I'm following.
So I have a ton of that stuff, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do. I'd like to push it through the lens of comics. So my idea for setting up the book is either my first idea was to kind of do it through the lens of something like a understanding comics.
Okay.
Okay, where you have like you're using a little simplified style and it's iconography, and you're kind of like, describing the technical aspects of the thing, right? But I worry that it's kind of over the course of time it becomes lectury and preachy, right?
Well, wasn't that one of the things about understanding comics is that it was kind of fun, even though it was entertaining as well as informative.
Yes, but it was presented was kind of like teacher at the head of the class.
Right.
So that's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that's one angle. But the other side is like, I really, me and we all have this thing for 90s comics, I have a desire to draw like, super macho masculine bullshit. So I thought about, maybe going through the lens of parable and talking about a marketing story or something, but using the images instead of being very one-to-one and like directly drawing like flow charts and diagrams, actually explaining the process or showing the process on a screen or on a panel, and then just kind of describing the process through a battle or a fight, right? Like you're trying to get a campaign launched, but then, it's kind of like Spider-Man versus the Lizard. You know what I mean? And this is the other thing, is I could set it up similar to my other idea was to kind of give it a feel of like 8-Ball. Do you ever seen Dan Clowes' 8-Ball?
Yeah, I think so. Dillard, what did you do to Trusty? Dillard timed out Trusty's sidekick by accident when he put his phone in his pocket. Dillard, you're such a bad man. I'm sorry, Todd. I hate to derail your conversation, but
that's okay. I know you're attracted to bad men.
Well, they also keep telling me I ignore the chat, and I'm paying attention. I'm watching it.
Anyway,
keep going.
So Daniel Clowes' 8-Ball, he basically divided up several stories. Some stories were one page. Some stories crossed multiple issues. Some stories were self-contained to one issue, right? He had inserts that there were self-contained books inside of the books. So there, he used it as a platform to tell a whole bunch of different shit. Okay. So there's also the possibility where this is kind of like that, where it's an anthology of one essentially, and you have something that's very technical on the front side, like an understanding comics, and then the back is like whatever graphic novel you get the chapter of the month or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not totally sure how I can package this, how I can wrap this up and really hit all of the things that I want to do. But I've talked to some people in the marketing space, and they're actually really excited by it, because you would be surprised. See, this is the thing that like comic people don't fucking think about. But there are,
I'm willing to say millions of people love comic books, right? And we know this because there were tens of millions of sales. Okay.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day. So there are at least still alive. There are at least 1 million plus people who genuinely give a shit about comics. That's the problem with comic artists and comic books and comic book companies is that they don't think outside of their own their own bubble. All right. What I mean by that is they think about comic shops. Meanwhile, I'm over here in marketing land, which has nothing to do with comic books, you would think. Except I've started to meet like legends of marketing.
Right.
I've literally had a conversation with a guy who's been a copywriter for 30 years. Has made he's sold hundreds of millions maybe of products for people through copywriting. He's not a name to us, but like in copywriting in the marketing space, he's like a legend. He's a massive comic nerd, like an old school. He even wrote a book on trivia, Marvel trivia, right? So he doesn't know the artist or anything like that. He knows like the character trivia,
right.
from the 60s and 70s. And you start realizing it's like, oh, hey, that's right. Like the people that went into comic shops who bought stuff, a lot of those people went on to have like real jobs and real lives. Do you know what I mean?
They make real money.
And they make real money and they're out there. And there's a lot of people who are marketers and who are in the marketing space who also enjoy the Marvel movies, who also enjoy the DC movies, but don't go into the comic shops anymore. Some of them don't even know that the comics are even made anymore, but they still love them. You can have been a fan of Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane in the 90s and not realize that comics are still made right now. Just because life takes you in different directions. So I realized after talking to him, I was like, there's a real there might be, it's a gamble, but there might be a real opportunity here to kind of hit people who love the movies and love comics, but hit them in a way that they're actually where they're loving things now, which is through their businesses,
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to make it entertaining. I'd love to see if I could find a way to make it like a 90s image book that actually gave statistics and diagrams and like how do I combine like Venn diagrams and spreadsheets into a story that also has like an X-Men feel without it feeling like a cheap ACLU comic or something.
I tell you what, right now you've got a very large uphill battle because we already lost all the viewers and Dillard's asking, what the heck's Todd talking about? The bottom line is I was asking Dillard, I was asking Todd about his graphic novel comic project that he's planning on working on, and he's still trying to work out what it's going to be and what it's going to be about. I wasn't going to interrupt you, but I was honestly asking about the convention story.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is it ties together because it does. It ties together because like in the concept, if it's like an 8-ball concept where you're able to create a book, like a monthly magazine or bi-monthly magazine that has multiple concepts, and then the convention story, that book would be released on a semi-regular basis. Does it make sense?
Nope, you're insane. I just thought you were going to do a graphic novel.
I'm trying, but I got to get paid, bro.
I think what's funny is you think on another level than what I'm trying to think of. But what was funny is I was actually in the store, not in my store, in a store, and we were talking about stories and comics that remind you of events that happened when you originally were exposed to the comics. It's one of the things I love about going through these bins and finding old comics. And I mentioned to the comic book store owner that I said, I have a buddy who's actually working on a graphic novel that combines all these different stories of our adventures going to conventions, which made me think about it to ask you how that was going. And then you went off on a whole different tangent, but that's okay.
No, well,
I didn't know you're planning on it.
I came to no. I came to tonight's call here with that question in mind because I really wanted to pick your brain about it.
Oh,
because
okay.
I want to do all of it. And here's the deal. Here's the reality. I have a big enough audience now, and I understand enough about advertising and marketing that I can get, even if I got 10 people to purchase a subscription from me, which is insanely not difficult. Like, it is really, really achievable. Then I have paying customers, and then I'm motivated to draw this thing every month because I have a deadline, because I actually have people to deliver it to. Right? That's the way it works. That's the way it happens. Like, the chance of me actually being able to sit down and draw a graphic novel without me having to take care of the kids or work is like very slim. That's the struggle. But I know for a fact that if I have it on the plate, if I have it on my work calendar because I have to get it done because it's actually baked into my business and I have paying customers already, right?
Right.
And the other thing is like, with the thing that I understand that, you know, EVS and all these guys don't yet, is that you don't there's multiple ways to build your audience. YouTube is absolutely a way to build your audience. There's nothing wrong with that, and it clearly works really well, you know. But that's also the long way around the hill, right?
Well, for some people, yeah.
It's a long road. They have to do it every single day, and you know, they have to do it every day or multiple times a week.
Yep.
The other way to do it is to pay for traffic and understand how conversion metrics work and KPIs and average cart value and all this stuff that I understand. So I can set up a funnel, and I can actually buy traffic, and I can get my numbers and figure out how much money I have to put down to get a clear return on ad spend.
Well, see, that begs that old adage question. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
No, it doesn't. That's a real no. It's a question that amateurs ask. The real question.
I don't ever ask that question. So
no, it's true. People do, but the reality is, it's not so much money about the money that I have. It's about the money I can get for other people, because that's my job, right? I've got. So it's the same. Here's the deal, and I'm not. It's gonna sound like a brag, but it's not. And I'll explain why. It's like, would I define myself as rich? No, but you know what? I've got clients who've made millions of dollars from working with me, and I've got clients who've sold their companies for millions of dollars with working with me. I got a client right now who before COVID was on the verge of getting an investment for $15 million, right? And so the way I look at it, and the way that most professionals look at it, is that question is the equivalent of saying, well, you're not Tom Brady, so hey, Belichick, what makes you a great coach?
Right.
He never played football. What makes him a good coach? Why can he coach Tom Brady? You know, Tiger Woods' dad never played professional golf. It's just a different skill set. Being a mentor and being a coach and being able to like guide somebody in the right direction is a profession, and it's a really specialized skill set. So it's the same thing.
Dillard says he's a legend in the upper Midwest shower ring circuit. The answer is simple. I have the answers. Just ask me. I know. The answer is join and market the COR. I don't know what COR is.
Why is Dillard in chat and not on screen?
Oh, he's got baby duty.
Oh.
So,
yeah, that was me all day. That was rough.
Oh, please. Your kids are awesome.
Mm.
You need to learn about that special mommy medication. It's called Benadryl.
Oh, I thought you were going to say whiskey.
Please don't give your daughters whiskey. Oh. All right, well, guys, we're going to wrap up this evening. I appreciate everybody coming by. Anybody out there still watching? He says, the Cult of Raven, you buffoon. Oh, okay. Sorry. Mark it to the Cult of Raven.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
See, that's what I know about that. But I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I will be making a store video this weekend. I did make one last weekend, but one of the things I did in the store is I had a little bit of time, and I actually cleared out a bunch of junk that was in the back of the store, and I was like really excited to show everybody how I cleared out a path to the back door. And then when I made the video, I kind of showed off some of my security in the back of the store. And I realized I really don't want to show that. I don't want people to
that's not-
see what security things I have in place.
That's not really something you want to.
And I was like, so in other words, I didn't make the video. So I didn't share a video with you guys because the majority of it was showing off how I cleared the space in the back. I threw out some old stuff that was just piling up back there. And I actually made it so that you could actually walk behind the back of the store, but it clearly shows, you know, how the door is locked and how it's secured and all this. And I'm like, this is stuff people really shouldn't be seeing. So there wasn't a store video last week. So to take the long way around, there was no store video this past weekend, but there'll definitely be one this weekend.
Good. This weekend,
good?
this weekend, you can show us exactly how to break into your space.
So, yeah, that's exactly what I need to do. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Take it easy. I did put up a new comic video of comics that are going in the store, and I got another one coming up tomorrow morning. So for anybody out there that watches those videos to look for the new comics, there's another one coming, and I'll see everybody later. Take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.